This is the second CBA review, and this will be important for your quiz tomorrow and for your CBA on Monday. It's going to cover, the CBA is going to cover rates, ratios, percents, unit rate, discounts, and proportions. It's heavy on proportions and percents. So let's look at these triangles. The information says that these triangles are similar, so that means these are proportionate. Now, you look at them, and this triangle, it does look to be the same shape as this, but it's all twisted around, turned upside down, looks different. So the first thing we need to do is to redraw this so that we can make a comparison and make a proportion to solve the sides. So I'm going to redraw. And this is my longest side. So my longest side on this picture is 10 feet. And see, now this looks like this. And then my shortest side is, here is 6 feet. And my median side is 8 feet. So now I have to look at, can I set up a proportion and find these missing sides? Well, sure I can. I'm going to look at what I know. I know 6 is to 8. That's this side is to this side. As 24 feet is to X. And so I use my scale factor, and it's real easy to see now. This is times 4, so this is times 4. So this is 32. X equals 32. And if I want to find Y, I do the same thing, but now I need to include this long side. So my short side 6 is to my short side 24, as my long side 10 is to Y. And I look at this, and I can simplify it to 1/4, and then this is times 10, and this is times 10. So my answer is this is 10 feet. So you can find the missing sides, but the important thing to do is to redraw this triangle and label it so that you're comparing sides to sides. You may also be given multiple choice where it gives you the proportion, and it says which proportion can be used to solve this. And if you turn it and draw them side by side, you can look and compare and find out which proportion is correct. So number 2, if there are 900 students in our school and 38% of them own smartphones, how many students own smartphones? Well, this 38% is not a nice, friendly percent that we would say, and it wants an exact number. It doesn't want an estimate. It wants an exact number. It wants it so exact that it's going this griddable. Well, what you have to do is turn that percent to a decimal. So I'm going to take 900 and I'm going to multiply it by the decimal equivalent of 38%. 38%, and I do pepper doctor, so it becomes 0.38. And now I can multiply just like normal, and I get 0.0072, and my 0 placeholder, and then 3 times 0, 3 times 0, 3 times 9 is 27. And add all of this up, carry, and now I have to put my decimal place. 2 places here, so 2 places in my answer. So my answer is 342. And I put it here, and there's nothing goes here. I can put 0, 0 to hold the place, but I don't have to put anything there. But I do have to put the 300 over here. And I have to grid it, I have to bubble it in for the computer to read it and know that I got that right answer. Now, you can estimate, and you can say this is close to about a third, and a third of 900 would be 300. So 342 makes sense. It's a little bit more than a third. So you can check your answer with estimating, but you need to do the math with the decimal to get the exact amount. So there are 45 students in choir, 26 are altos. What is the best estimate of the percent of students who are not altos? I hate these questions that ask about not. So if 26 are altos out of 45, so the number that are not altos is 19. So 19 are not altos out of the whole 45. This is the whole, my part to whole. And what percent is what I want to find, is out of 100. Now it says estimate, and I look at these numbers and I go, these are not nice numbers. These are not numbers that I can simplify. 19's prime, this isn't going anywhere. I can't take 45 to 100. So it says estimate, so I'm going to say 50 is pretty close to 100. So I'm going to say times 2, and 19 times 2 is 38. So it's 38%. Now, whenever I go to put this in a griddable, there's no way to say percent, so it would really be 38 hundredths. But you're not going to have to grid on the CBA any percentages, but that's how you would do it. And so 38 hundredths is 38 hundredths. But it would be best estimate, and you'd be selecting from multiple choice. Number 4, Megan, my daughter, is reading Dork Diaries. The book has 360 pages. I don't think it has that many pages, but let's just go with it. She has read 31% of the book. Which is the best estimate of the number of pages she has read? Well, 30% is real close to either 30 or 33 and a third. And if I have 360, then that can go into, I can find out 30%, or I could find out a third. And this is nice and easily divided by 3. So that would be 120 pages, and 120 is one of my answer choices. It may have said 126, or it could have said fewer. It could have said 108. You know, but anything close to this is what you're going to pick the closest answer. So just make this a nice percent whenever you're estimating, and divide it out to get the answer. If it was close to 25%, you would divide by 4. If it was close to 20%, you divide by 5. So it just depends on what percent you're close to, what you divide by. So this is one of those shadow ones. And whenever you're doing this, you have to make sure that you're labeling what you are finding. And so you're always comparing a height to a shadow. So it says the building that is 50 feet high, so that's my height, casts a shadow 10 feet long. That's my shadow. And then it says a nearby tree is 20 feet tall. Is that my shadow, or is that my height? That's my height because it's the tree is tall. And so that's 20. And so how long is its shadow? That's the X. Now, I can't get directly from 50 to 20. So I need to simplify. And I can divide by 10. And now I can go from 5 to 20 times 4. And 1 times 4 is 4. And that's saying 4-foot shadow, and that makes sense. It's the shadow. Sarah bought 2 pants for school. Each pant was on sale for 30% off. If each skirt cost $30, how much did Sari save? So we've got a situation here. She's got 2 pants, and, or I guess it's skirts. 2 skirts, and they each cost 30% off, $30. So her total amount that she's purchasing that's discounted is $60. Now it's 30% off, so I want to find 30% of 60. And so I'm going to divide this into tens to find 30%. So this would be 10%. Each one of these would be 10%. Now I'm going to take the 30% off the end, so 10%. And so 60 divided by 10 is 6. So each of these is 6. And 30%, each one is 10%. So this is 10, 20, 30. So how much is that? 6 times 3 is 18. So it's an $18 savings. It's $9 for each skirt, but there's 2 skirts, so it is 18. So you need to make sure and find the total of what you're going to pay and then take the total off. So here's your homework check, just 3 questions. A little bit more challenging because these are star-like questions. This one, Sam bought 2 pairs of jeans which cost $40, but the store had a sale of 30% off everything in the store. Not including tax, what is the total amount Sam will say? So this is just like what we just did. It's even 30%, but let's say 2 pairs of jeans which each cost $40, okay? So do that, and then what is the total amount he will save? And then Kendall spends 36 minutes working on jewelry. She completes 24 necklaces. How much time does she spend on each necklace? This is a unit rate question, just to get you back into that mode of finding the unit rate. You're going to be dividing, and you're going to have to use decimals. A little hint on that. And then here is a, so let me leave this here for a second. You can pause if you need to review these questions. And then this is one of the similar triangles. Kathleen is creating a triangular piece of quilt she is making. The triangle consists of 2 pieces of fabric, the dotted fabric that will be in the shape of a trapezoid, and the checkered fabric that will be in the shape of a triangle. Which proportion can be used to find the height of the checked triangle? So you're trying to find this height. You know this length, and you know this length, and you know this height. You want to find this height. There's a little question mark in there. I'll rewrite it so that you know exactly what you're looking for. And it says which proportion can be used to find the height of the checked triangle. So you need to go through these and rule out and find out which one makes sense and works for finding this height.